step off my chopper into a swampy Vietnamese valley, and the chaos hits me all at once. Villagers screaming, gunfire echoing, and a cartoonishly bright explosion clearing out half of a village ahead. Vietnam War is definitely chaotic. A vibrant, bug-ridden open-world FPS where you can play as US forces or Viet Cong NVA. The official description even calls it a huge open world set in the Vietnam War, and I realized that was an understatement. This isn't a polished AAA simulator. You can tell this is a solo developer's project. There's ambition everywhere, even if it's rough around the edges. But wow, the ambition is enormous. The map is literally 1,000+ kilometers, covering North and South Vietnam and spilling into parts of Laos and Cambodia. I could hike through dense jungle for hours and fight in dozens of handcrafted villages and bases. All the classic tools are here. I could command a squad of grunts, telling them to hold position or flank me, and it actually worked well. I had pistols and rifles from the era, grenades that felt satisfyingly weighty, and sticky claymores to sneak under the foliage. In one firefight, I even called in an airstrike on an enemy bunker. Hearing the jets roar past and the bombs fall was awesome. Tanks barreled out of the jungle. M48 Pattons and ACAVs rolled across the map. Gunships? Cobras buzz overhead. Even Huey helicopters and Chinooks sling troops across the map. The jungle throws some surprises at you. I was patrolling at dusk, thinking about home, when suddenly a big cat leaps out of the tall grass at me. Between the booby traps, snakes, and surprise tiger attacks, the jungle didn't pull any punches. One time I had to dive sideways to dodge a charging animal. Another time, I tried to flank through a river and got mauled on the other side. It's unpredictable, and that actually adds to the tension. Between all the firefights and prowling predators, I started throwing up defenses. Sandbags, barbed wire, the works. In one playthrough, I piled sandbags and barbed wire into a makeshift bunker at a friendly village. Watching that setup hold off a Viet Cong assault felt legitimately cool. You also have to manage your own soldier, eating rations, drinking water, even smoking a cigarette to calm nerves, or popping a pill for stamina are actual gameplay features. At least, it feels alive out here. I came across dozens of villages packed with detail. I did see villagers running for cover or peeking out as bullets flew overhead. The graphics are simple, but knowing there are towns at all makes the scale impressive. Plus, there's a day-night cycle and random weather. I remember sneaking through the jungle in a thunderstorm with only my flashlight to guide me, and another mission played out under a blazing noon sun. Little touches add flavor too, and hearing a village dog bark in the distance made me realize I wasn't alone. Missions are light on narrative but heavy on chaos. One mission had me sweeping a village for tunnel entrances, crawling through a cramped Viet Cong tunnel and popping out in a bamboo thicket. That was exhilarating. Another objective had me chasing sampans down the Mekong to intercept a supply convoy. It's not a traditional campaign, but the variety keeps me on my toes. Each mission feels like its own weird little story. But all of this comes with growing pains. The game is very, very janky. Squad mates sometimes freeze or act like zombies until I boot them back to life. Weapons can punch through flimsy huts, and one time a helicopter spawned upside down in the sky. The interface can be clunky too. Missions start to blur together since there's no real story or campaign. You're basically given a situation and told to make do. Sometimes it's just go here, kill all hostiles. Even flying a helicopter had its quirks. I found myself using the jets as fast-moving cover more than once. It can get tiresome and a bit grindy after too many hours. Even with all the issues, I kept coming back to Vietnam War. I discovered that if you stock a village with enough troops and defenses, it'll even hold out on its own against waves of attackers. Stuff like that felt like real player agency. The audio is surprisingly fun. Bullet tracers whiz by, distant mortars rumble, and the cheesy radio banter between squad mates always cracks me up. The lo-fi visuals give it a retro shooter vibe, which oddly grew on me as I dealt with the chaos. Once I landed my Huey on a rooftop during a skirmish and the physics glitched. The helicopter got stuck on the edge, leaving me stranded on top of a bunker. I honestly couldn't help but laugh. I lost track of how long I played. For all its flaws, the bugs, the repetitive missions, the missing polish, I was oddly hooked by the scale and unpredictability. Every session played out differently. One day I was sniping from a tree line, the next I was digging in while mortars landed all around me. It's chaotic, messy, and that's exactly what pulled me in. I'm giving Vietnam War a 7.5 out of 10. It's far from finished, but it has a lot of heart and almost glitched its way into something engaging. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this review and want more game breakdowns, be sure to subscribe to GameVault HQ and click that bell so you won't miss our upcoming video. Cheers.
Move out.